Vagina. Vagina. Yes, I said it in front of you all, on a stage, into a microphone. And guess what? The world didn't end. But let's be honest, some of you flinched. Some of you looked down. And some of you might be still wanting this to turn into a joke. It won't. I say it every day. I'm a doctor. I'm an aesthetic gynecologist. And I talk about vaginas all day. Not in secrecy, not in shame, not in whispers, not as something dirty, embarrassing, or as a taboo. I am an aesthetic gynecologist. I talk about vaginas. That means I work at an intersection of medicine, intimacy, identity, and choice. Every day, women from 13 to 70 sit across from me with one burning question. Is this normal? Women come to me not just for how something looks, but also how they feel. And more importantly, how they would want to feel. Not for anyone else, not for validation, but for themselves. A perfect vagina is a story of motherhood, a story of pleasure, and also a story of rebellion, of resilience, of awakening, and of choice. As an aesthetic gynecologist, I don't sculpt perfection. I listen to stories and I help women rewrite them. So let me narrate story of Lakshmi. She was in her 30s, 2 kids, a job, a life lived for everyone but her. She told me through a long held breath, I have given my body to my children. Now I want a piece of it back. She missed pleasure, connection, the spark that made her feel like herself. She wasn't erasing motherhood. She was chasing belonging to her body yet again. We created a plan, not to change her, but to restore her. When she returned, she said, I didn't do this for anyone else. I did it so that when I look into the mirror, I can say, that's me. Another story of Meera, who was 17, who came to my clinic and did not have words. She was 17, a dedicated athlete, an elite swimmer. Still, she was losing her races because of the pain caused by the swimsuit. She whispered, something feels wrong down there. I didn't know who to ask. She didn't know the word labia. Nobody had ever taught her about her anatomy. What she thought was shameful was actually common, treatable. She wasn't broken. She was brave. That day, we just didn't give her a treatment. We gave her language. We gave her a voice. Another story of Purvi, who was 28, a school teacher, sat across from me and said, Doctor, I need a hymenoplasty. I don't have a choice. First, the truth. Hymen is not a seal. Virginity is not a memory, and bleeding is no certificate. She nodded. Then the real story surfaced. And underlying old assault, wedding in a few weeks, and jokes about purity that often felt like threats. She wasn't scared of intimacy. She was scared of that being turned into an evidence. We put three anchors on the table: consent, safety, and truth. No pressures, no evidence of bleeding. Just one thing: your body, you choose. She returned with a notebook that read, "Choice is no sin, and I choose this for me." We proceeded. The bravest step, she told her fiance. He answered in the most radical sentence in our language: "I believe you." They started their own ritual of slowness, softness, and no audience of expectations. She returned back in a month with a wedding card and a line that I'll never forget. "I didn't want to erase my past. I wanted to hold the pen to write my future. For the first time in my life, this body feels like a room where I hold the keys." These are not stories of vanity. These are stories of victory. Some of you might be thinking, are we going too far? Are we trying to turn women's body into something of society's gaze? That's a valid question. But here's my answer. Empowerment without education is exploitation. We educate. We demystify. We provide facts, not fears. Then we say, you choose. When a woman walks into my clinic, I don't ask her what's wrong. Instead, I ask, what matters to you? So let me talk directly to each one of you sitting in the audience. To all the girls, do not let internet define your body. Do not let a classmate's joke make you shrink. Do not let anybody make you feel any less. You are still folding. You are still forming. You are enough just as you are. To all the mothers, you give so much to others. You matter too. Do not let your joy, your pleasure be considered as selfish. That is revolutionary. To all the grandmothers, aging doesn't make you invisible. Your story still deserves space. Comfort and confidence do not have an expiration date. And to everyone in between, you get to choose what feeling whole means for you. So today, I am not spreading an idea. I am inviting a revolution. A revolution that says, we for vagina. A revolution where women own their stories down to the last cell, scar, and curve. Where whispers turn into dialogues. Where shame turns into science. But in science, in healing, and in empowerment, this talk is called the quest for perfect vagina. And let me put it across. It's about time. There is no perfect vagina. You see, the quest for perfect vagina is not about a body part. It's about control. It's about saying, this is my body. I define it. I decide for it. It's about a teenager girl wanting to remove all the filters Instagram has planted. It's about a postmenopausal woman saying, I gave birth to this family. Now I birth my freedom. It's about a rape survivor whose scars run deeper than the skin, that I choose healing. And it's also about not choosing, because empowerment is equally about the right to say, I don't need to change a thing. The quest for perfect vagina ends because the answer is simple. The perfect vagina is the one a woman claims as her own. So today, we all stand tall, unapologetic, we for vagina. Thank you.